Hello, everyone. This is James with Unity of Greenville. Thank you for being with me on this beautiful Wednesday evening. It's 74 degrees today. Isn't that amazing? In the middle of February. So that's all right. We'll take it. Of course, all of the blooms are coming out and the buds on the trees. I think that nature feels like, oh, okay, we can bloom now. It's time for spring, but it might start getting cold again, so we'll just have to see what happens. All right, thanks for joining with me tonight. I want to share with you a little bit about the metaphysical understanding and idea of signs from the universe, that the universe is wanting your attention, trying to get your attention. And what are some of those signs? And you might say, well, James, why would the universe want to get my attention? Well, because the universe does not have your attention. And it would like to get your attention in order to share with you something important, to help you to redirect, to reconfigure, to recalculate wherever you're at so that you can begin to move in a different direction. And so the first sign that I want to talk to you about is sudden, unexpected change. Sudden, unexpected change. When things happen quick, there are times when you're going about your life and everything seems to be in order, but then all of a sudden, something happens. There's a change. Maybe it's a job situation changes or relationship changes or any number of things could happen. And so the universe says, okay, now I've got your attention. So the key is not to be upset when things change. Now, I know that's not easy, but to remain calm and allow for changes to happen because change is the natural order of life. If you don't like what's happening now, wait 5 minutes and it will change. That's kind of the law of change. So you want to stay calm as you can be, and allow for these changes to take place. Because what you don't want to do, as we talked about in our last video, is you don't want to resist. Because when you resist, you are creating blockages, you're creating walls, you're creating division and separation. And so, what you want to do is channel those changes and allow yourself to see something from a different perspective, to see something in a new light, in a new way. Because if you can't adapt to change, then it's hard, it becomes difficult. And sometimes, if you can't adapt to the negative changes that or what we call negative, but here's the beauty of that whole thing. When it looks like it's negative and something has changed, it can always be worked around for the positive. And so you affirm, you say out loud, I don't know what this is, but I choose to believe that it will work out for my highest good. Because when you can do that with the negative, then it's easier to accept change when it's positive. Because a lot of times, um, as human beings, we resist change. We don't want change. We like things to stay the way that they are, whether it's up or down, good or bad, or whatever. So you want to be adaptable. You want to be flexible and be able to go with the change. And always trust that something positive will come from this. No matter what happens, something positive, something good is going to come from this. I'm going to learn a lesson, I'm going to grow, and I'm going to find a new direction. I'm going to find a new way of being in the world. Maybe my purpose might begin to go in a different direction. And so these are all good things. But sometimes when change comes, it comes in a package that may look negative, it may look dark, it may look bleak. But if you will stay calm and just be with the change, don't resist it, accept it as it is, acknowledge it, and then affirm that this is going to work for my higher best, my highest good. Because I have seen it happen time after time after time after time. All right, what's another sign? Sometimes a sign from the universe is a roadblock. A roadblock. So what does it mean when you have a roadblock or a closed door? What does that mean? When the door is closed and the thing that I was doing is, the door is closed to it now. I you know, it's closed off to me. I'm blocked. It's like the person who's driving down the road and they come upon a sign that says roadblock. Well, what do you do when you see a roadblock? You take a detour, you go around. Now, why would the universe want me to go a different direction? Well, because the road that you're on is not going to lead you where you need to be for your next step, your next adventure, your next experience. And so when one door closes, you look for another door and you will be rerouted for a higher, quicker, better version of what it is that you want. Now, the thing about closed doors is that if you continue to bang on a closed door, you're wasting your energy because obviously that is not for you. It's the universe saying, this isn't for you. This no longer serves you. This is something that you no longer need in your life, this closed door. And that's why there's the roadblock there, is so that you can make the change. So you see that all of these signs really are trying to get our attention because maybe we have gotten off track. Possibly we've fallen asleep or unconscious and we're not really engaged in the way that we could be. We're not really paying attention. Or it could be that it's time for something new and different and fun. And so there's many reasons why. We don't have to know those reasons in the moment. We just realize there's a roadblock. I'm going to take a detour. I'm going to go around. And when I take the detour, I discover new places. I discover new people. I discover new things. I discover a new way to proceed forward. And that's a good thing. So roadblocks aren't bad. Closed doors aren't bad. I remember back in 2008, there was a lot of folks whose businesses had shut down and whose homes had been foreclosed. And so I was doing a lot of counseling, spiritual counseling with people. And so, and this is exactly what I told them. This is a closed door situation. And it doesn't matter why the door closed. It's a sign to you that the universe wants your attention, wants to reroute you for a new experience. And I remember that those who were able to adapt to it and use it in a positive way, it worked out for them very, very well. And they're happy that they went through that experience because in that moment, their life changed in a good way. Number 3, your patience feels like it's being tested. When you're in a situation and it seems like nothing's moving, nothing's working, things just aren't coming together. And I see no way through, no way out. Well, in that moment, what you want to do is get still. Get still. Meditate a little more. Go deeper in your meditations. There's something in the Bible that talks about waiting upon the Lord, or waiting upon the higher mind, the higher principle, the higher ideas. And sometimes we need to do that. So there are times when it's just good to just stop and just be for a while. Just take a break and rest and just let go of any thoughts of trying to, figure things out. Sometimes you're not going to figure it out in the moment. Now, later on, it's going to make sense to you, but in the moment, it just doesn't seem to make sense. And so I've, worked with a lot of folks. And in this moment, it's important when it feels like everything is at a standstill, that you get still. And when you get still, you will be renewed. Okay? And then the destination, that the where you want to go, what you want more of in your life, will start to come to you. And things will begin to open up. Sometimes you just have to wait it out. You have to just wait upon the higher principle to get activated. And sometimes it doesn't get activated until you have entered a state of complete rest and really rested for a while and let it all go and just allow yourself to be refreshed, renewed, and restored and revived, and take care of yourself in those moments. Treat yourself a little better. Do something that you enjoy, and then things can turn around. Another sign is when things get hard for you, and you wonder to yourself, why is it that things are so hard right now? And there's many reasons. There's many reasons that it could be. One of those reasons is that it could be your expectations and the way that you're looking at life. Maybe your expectations aren't really relevant to your path, to your destiny, to your purpose, to who you are. Maybe you have overblown expectations. Maybe you have unrealistic expectations. And so that's another time when you want to just be still and just say, okay, it feels hard. So what am I resisting? Why am I struggling? What am I fighting up against here? And when you ask yourself these questions, then you can begin to figure it out. So sometimes when we come into this life, we don't really totally understand that we come fully loaded with our curriculum. We all have, certain things that we have come to experience and to do. And so you think to yourself, okay, did I agree to this? Well, I don't know. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't need to know. Maybe you just need to be with the situation as it is in the moment, and then take the ride on the roller coaster. And, you don't say to yourself, I didn't know it was going to be like this. You say to yourself, okay, this is the way it is. This is as it is. And as you come into acceptance of what's going on, even though it's hard, you say, okay, this is what it is in this moment. This is the hand that I've been dealt. So what you want to do is if you're playing cards, you want to draw some new cards. Draw some new cards. Get some inspiration and see what happens and see what comes up for you. All right, the next sign is maybe you've been feeling this lack of confidence. this unworthiness. Ah, and so the divine will use that to get your attention. If you're living in unworthiness, it will be reflected back to you so that you can see it. Because whenever you're looking in the mirror, okay, what are you going to see? Well, you're going to see yourself. When you look in that mirror, you're going to see yourself. And what's going to happen is the mirror is going to reflect back to you exactly the reflection that is there. So if I look in the mirror, what's the mirror going to reflect back to me? That same expression. If I am presenting this kind of a face, then that's exactly what the mirror will reflect. But if I smile at the mirror, then what will the mirror do? It will reflect back to me the smile, the joy. So it really, the mirror can't lie. The mirror doesn't lie. The world that you see around you is a reflection of what you believe about yourself and what you believe about the world. And so what you want to do is say, okay, I see what's happening here. I am putting out some feelings of insecurity and fear, maybe some unworthiness, some doubt, self-doubt. And so what I want to do is renew my confidence in that God power within me. And I use every situation as a test to build character and to strengthen my resolve, because I want to toughen myself up and be resilient, to keep the faith, to keep focusing on the present moment. Now, a lot of people talk about the present moment, and I don't know if they know what they mean by it or not. I don't know. All I know is what I mean by it, what I say being in the present moment. And for me, it's just being aware of the isness of life. The isness is my business. So whatever's happening right now, that's what I want to focus on, because that's where the divine speaks, is in the present moment and through the circumstances and situations that are arising. You can get a message from just about anything, you know. Now, you don't want to go crazy on, reading every little thing. If there's a bug crawling up the wall, ooh, God is trying to tell me about a bug. Well, that's not what we're talking about. What I'm talking about is the overall signs around you. And, maybe you see all the doors closed. Maybe there's a roadblock. Maybe there's, is to get you to see that there is some feelings and some energies in you that you are uh, not aware of, and that you need to be aware of. Because once you change those energies inside yourself, then you begin to attract a totally different kind of expression, a different kind of life. And that's a beautiful thing. Because what is life? Well, life is quality. It's the quality of life that we're looking for, that we're looking at. The higher the quality, the greater the experience. See? So it's up to you and I to have the right mindset and the right perspective about everything that happens. And when you don't, you don't. You go with it in that way until you can change your mind, until you can see it differently. What else are you going to do? But the idea is not to quit, not to give up, but realize that when you change, the reflection changes. When you change the way you think about things, the things you think about will change. Isn't that beautiful? That's the way it works. So, is the universe trying to get your attention? I don't know why I shared this tonight. This just came to me in the moment. Said, go ahead and share this. I said, okay, because I really listen intuitively to what comes to me, and I've discovered that it's better than anything I could have, you know, put together and so forth. But just to be, available for spirit to come through. And that's what we're talking about here is learning how to be present in the moment because it makes a difference. You make a difference. You make a difference. So, all right. That's your sign. That's your message. That's for you today. Thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. If you'd like to make a donation to our Unity community, go to the Unity Church of Greenville.org, and there will be a place there where you can make a donation. We appreciate it very much. There are also all kinds of other videos that you can watch and music that you can play and meditations and resources. It's all there for you. That's why we created this website, is for you, because we believe that we're here to assist people in unburdening themselves and finding peace in the world now, not someday in the afterlife, but right here, right now, because this is where we need it. So thank you so much for listening to this little metaphysical talk. Consider what we've talked about, see how that speaks to you, and we'll see you soon.